from Kennis FM. It's 7:31. Time to bring you Kennis Sports. All right, here's what's going on in the world of sports. Super Eagles coach Genaro has lifted the lead on the invitation of Heracles Almelo striker Siredesas and FC Cologne right back Kingsley Ehizibwe to the Nigerian national team. The pair were among the 24-man list released by the Super Eagles coach for the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers against Sierra Leone this month. Ross said the eye-catching form of the duo was the reason why he handed their first call-ups to the Super Eagles and praised the scouting crew for their efforts. The Sails has been turning heads in the Dutch top flight, scoring 15 goals and providing 5 assists in 26 appearances amid other dazzling displays. Ehizibwe, meanwhile, has been a consistent performer for FC Cologne in Germany, helping his side to 10th spot in the league table with his solid defensive showings. The Super Eagles are leading Group L with 6 points after victory against the Republic of Benin and Lesotho.
Former Super Eagles captain Nwankwo Kanu is hoping that Manchester United striker Odion Ighalo reverses his decision to retire from the Nigerian national team. The forward called time on his international career after helping the Super Eagles finish third at the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations in Egypt.
Minister of Sports, Youth and Sport Development Sunday Dari has directed that no league game should be played henceforth without the presence of paramedics and equipment match at the match venues. He gave the directive yesterday in Abuja following the death of Nasarawa United player Chineme Martins during a league match last Sunday. The minister in a statement said the decision was taken after due consultations with key stakeholders.
Also, in its response to the death of Nasarawa United footballer Chineme Martins, the Nigeria Football Federation has instructed that no NPFL match will go ahead until certain statutory measures were adhered to by the LMC and the 20 clubs operating in the league. Martins slumped on the pitch during the NPFL match between Nasarawa United and Katsina United in Lafia last Sunday. He was attended to by medics. However, reports suggest that for the lack thereof of essential equipment and a broken down stadium ambulance, Martins could have been saved.
The Edo State government has announced that the rebranding of its football club, Bendel Insurance Football Club, has started to yield dividends as the sale of the club's traditional yellow and green jerseys has fetched a whopping 26 million naira. An elected deputy governor of the state, Comrade Philip Shaibu, who disclosed this in Benin City, said the sale of jersey was just one of the things they lined up to undertake in the rebranding of Bendel Insurance. He said Bendel Insurance will not be run purely as a government club.
With barely 13 days to the kickoff of the 20th National Sports Festival, Edo 2020, the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dari, and the main organizing committee members of the multi-sports fiesta are expected to storm Benin City today for the final inspection of facilities earmarked by the Edo State government to host the games. Chief Press Secretary to the Edo State Deputy Governor, Musa Iwamina, confirmed the visit of the minister and the Edo 2020 MOC members, stressing that almost all the facilities were ready to host the Nigerian version of the Olympics.
The Rivers government has inaugurated a 5-man steering committee to Team Rivers ahead of the upcoming 20th National Sport Festival in Benin City at Edo 2020. The Rivers Commissioner for Sports, Boma Iyaye, while inaugurating, charged the members to ensure that the state stamp performed well at Edo 2020. Iyaye stated further that as terms of reference, the committee should ascertain the number of sports team Rivers will participate in and the athletes.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has assured Kenyan Premier League clubs will soon get government financial support. During the new bus handover ceremony to AFC Leopards, President Kenyatta stated the government will start to focus on local clubs after they are done with the national teams.
An Egyptian bidding to become the oldest professional football ever has scored on his debut at the age of 75. Ezeldin Bahada now needed to play 2 full games to qualify as an entry in the Guinness World Records book.
Paris Saint-Germain's Champions League last 16 match against Borussia Dortmund tomorrow will be played behind closed doors because of coronavirus. Paris police made the decision yesterday in a bid to contain the spread of the virus. The French champions, trailing 2-1 from the first leg, will host the German side at Parc des Princes.
Mohamed Salah passed Sadio Mane to win Liverpool's Goal of the Month award for February. Salah scored 2 goals in the Reds' 4-0 win over Southampton on February 1st, and his first strike on that day has claimed the club's monthly gong.
Manchester United legend Roy Keane has credited Odion Ighalo for igniting a reaction out of Anthony Martial, with the Frenchman getting on the score sheet in United's 2-0 Premier League win in the Manchester derby last Sunday. Since Ighalo's arrival in January, Martial has scored in 3 of their last 5 league games as he stepped up in the absence of Marcus Rashford.
Arsenal midfielder Lucas Torreira has been ruled out for up to 10 weeks after fracturing his right ankle. The midfielder injured his ankle last week's 2-0 victory at Portsmouth in the FA Cup. Uruguayan Torreira was on the receiving end of a heavy tackle from Portsmouth defender James Bolton and was carried off the pitch on a stretcher.
Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has admitted that Arsenal needs to be at the top of their game to beat Manchester City in their Premier League clash on Wednesday. Arteta, who succeeded Unai Emery in the Emirates hot seat in December, is set to return to his old club, with whom he was Pep Guardiola's number 2 from 2016 to 2019.
Tottenham says Steven Bergwijn faces an extended period of rehabilitation after suffering a significant sprain on his left ankle. The 22-year-old Netherlands winger, who joined Spurs from PSV Eindhoven in January for £27 million, was injured in last Saturday's 1-1 draw at Burnley. It is the latest setback for the Tottenham, missing forwards Harry Kane and Son Heung-min and long-term injuries.
FIFA and the Asian Football Confederation (AFC) have agreed to postpone the Asian World Cup qualifying matches in March and June due to the outbreak of the coronavirus. The World Soccer Body made the disclosure in a statement yesterday in Zurich. The matches were scheduled to take place during the international window of March 23 to March 31 and June 1 to June 9.
The Court of Arbitration for Sports (CAS) has annulled the 4-year ban imposed on Jarian Lawson for the sports governing body World Athletics. The annulment followed an appeal by the American long jumper and sprinter. The 25-year-old, who was suspended last year after testing positive for banned substance, of course had denied any wrongdoing.
In the NFL, cornerback Josh Norman has agreed to a 1-year deal worth $6 million to join the Buffalo Bills, reuniting with Sean McDermott. Bills head coach McDermott was defensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers during arguably Norman's best seasons in the NFL. Norman was a 5th-round pick by Carolina in the 2012 draft.
Nigeria's senior national cricket team, scheduled to take part in the Africa Cricket Association's T20 Championship in Nairobi, Kenya, has halted preparations ahead of the event after the coronavirus scare forced a postponement. The team's coach, Ote Ogbimi, told newsmen yesterday in Abuja that development was due to the suspension of the event over the coronavirus panic.
The Indian Wells tournament has been cancelled because of concerns about the spread of coronavirus. The tournament, a combined ATP and WTA event, which is one of the biggest and most prestigious outside of the Grand Slams, was due to start this week. Health officials in California said holding a large gathering of crowd was too great a risk.
And lastly, Saturday's match between France and Ireland in the last Six Nations fixture to be postponed because of concerns over the coronavirus outbreak. The decision follows earlier steps to postpone the Ireland versus Italy and Italy versus England fixtures. England lead the table on points difference from France, who failed in their Grand Slam bid with defeat by Scotland last Sunday. As it stands, Wales' match against Scotland will go ahead on the 14th of March. Also, the Women's Six Nations fixture between Wales and Scotland has however been postponed after a Scottish player tested positive for the virus. England, France, and Ireland remain in contention for the Six Nations title. That's about it on today's edition of Kennis Sports. You can join us later on, precisely 9 o'clock, when Michelle Obi will be here with the rest of the Master Sports International team to bring you the sports show that you can dance to, Sports Salsa. Once again, Sports Asa will take the air 9 o'clock later on this morning on your Kennis FM. Good morning.